Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. This is the Sunday Night Cop. I'm Gav, and it's Seany with me this week. Keith is his Bertie, and Emmett's out having a drink. That's exactly as it is. Seany, our first defeat of the season away at Crystal Palace, and I'm going to throw it out there very early. Tough one to take at the end, but probably what we deserved overall. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially after the first half. I think we did get out there with a point yesterday. It probably would have been the biggest robbery
It would
of
have
a
been.
point we had this season. That being said, I feel like look, I won't lie to you. I watched the game in a different context. I watched the game in a different context because I didn't get to see actually a minute of it live yesterday. And I didn't get to come home and even watch highlights. All I've done is I just stuck it on this morning and watched it through knowing the score. So it's always a little bit different when you do that because you watch the game differently. You're not sitting on the edge of your seat. You're not kind of. I wasn't kind of going off what people were saying online either because I know like there was pure knee jerk and panic online. Yeah, and I get it. Look, when you lose a game, I don't expect people to be over the moon about it, but I think sometimes you just need to give a little bit of semblance, nuance to it, and kind of sit back. And I actually think it's always best to kind of gather your thoughts and give your opinion on the game after. And I think, to be honest with you, it's probably the first game this season where after 90 minutes you were like, yeah, that's the result we deserved. I know we've scored a few late winners and all, and maybe Newcastle away, you could argue they probably deserve the point out, but I think most of them games we deserve to win. When you look at them, so yeah, I knew it was going to be I thought it was going to be a tough game. Uh, on paper, when we looked at it, I think I even said in the WhatsApp group, I think we dropped points today. I just felt like it was coming because I think allowed it was a bit of a mad summer for Crystal Palace in terms of losing their best players and maybe not recruiting to the highest level as they probably would have wanted. They've had a really, really good start to the season, and
Mm.
um, it looked like maybe not probably an over the top, but like I think Oliver Glasner is actually one of the managers in the league who probably has Slot's number. I think we've struggled against Palace every time we've played them under Slot and under Glasner. So yeah, like I think you just take your medicine and go home, isn't it? It was one of them sort of games. There was obviously we'll get into it in detail, but there was too many bad performances yesterday, and I actually think that looking back and like they say, hindsight is foresight for golf shite. I think the manager got it wrong in the first half in particular because I thought there was a marked improvement in the second half. I thought we create more on top, and that's probably because they were defending a one goal lead. But I was half hoping that's how we'd start the game on the front foot. But look, they made it difficult for us, and they take an early lead, which changes every game really. And to be honest with you, I think if I'm being totally honest, we were lucky not to win at half time at least 2 or 3. Allison
Yeah,
makes a couple of great saves
a
and
couple of brilliant
we
saves.
kind of what we've just get into the habit of doing what we've been doing this season is where it's causing an awful lot of our own problems. I think most would agree.
Yeah, look, if we take, the lads done the post match show after the game yesterday, and they covered it in massive detail. I think when we look at it as a kind of an overview, um, I thought the lineup was weird. Um, when I look at Palace, um, they'll give you possession, they'll see the possession, but what they look to do is in Munoz in particular, and their fullbacks, when they break, they look to get their fullbacks breaking really, really, really quickly, and it's a big part of their play because what they have up front is they've a real focal point in Mateta, so they look to get it to him. They look to play off him. And if that's, yes, he was Sarr and Pino, if you Munoz on one side, Mitchell on the other, and what they do is they look to break beyond them and to cause a bit of havoc. And I thought it was a bit of a weird lineup when I seen Verts playing out left, because look, people are going on about Cody Gakpo and what's he doing and what's he doing, but he works so fucking hard for the team, and it's been a settled, not settled, but Cody Gakpo has played the most with Kirkes, right? And Cody Gakpo knows Robertson inside out, right? And to me, one of the strongest parts of Palace's game is down that right hand side. Munoz, I think, is a fantastic player, and what when I was looking there, I was going, well, hold on, that new left back is there, Kerkez, right? And then we're throwing Wirtz into a position that, all right, he's done a bit of for Bayer Leverkusen and all that, but he hasn't done it in this team. He hasn't done it in a team that's not playing 3 centre backs. He hasn't done it with Kerkez. And I just thought to myself, if you're trying to fit Wirtz in, fair enough. Fit him in and be brave and put him in his position where he's played for the majority of the season. Or you go with McAllister, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, and you leave Gakpo out there, because like most games I go into for Liverpool, it's like you're going to have most of the ball. You need to be absolutely snuffing these out at the first chance, whether that's winning the header from Mateta or winning that second ball. And Liverpool just didn't do enough of it for me, especially the first half. No. It was coming off at Mateta. I don't think Konate helped himself. I don't think he had a good game. No, he had a very shaky game. He gets booked. And look, it's going to be multiplied by the fact that he's being linked away, contract stuff and all, and that's just how it goes with fan bases. But you have to snuff it out, Johnny. And I seen so many people saying it yesterday, right? And I could see where they were coming from. They were like, lads, we know Palace are going to play this way. We know they're going to do this. And I don't think we put enough out there to say, we're going to stop you doing that. I know you were saying second half front foot, but we are more solid in the second half, Shawnee. We were winning them balls and getting back on the front foot. Whereas in the first half, there was too much space, there was too many runners, and we weren't doing it. And that's where I think we let ourselves down in the first half. But Alisson was fantastic, and that's why he's in goal. But I just think, Shawnee, for me, the approach to that first half was, we didn't worry enough about them. And I don't like going to grounds and being completely worried about teams. But I'm happy to play our game, but go, listen, just if they break, this is what we need to do. This is your responsibility, especially the 3 boys in midfield. That's your responsibility. If you stop them doing that, we'll have loads of joy in this game. And that's where I think we went wrong in the first half.
Yeah, I think you have to win your battles. I think, especially away from home, you have to be winning your battles, and we just didn't do it enough yesterday. I agree with you. I thought Konate was poor, and I thought actually Wharton ran the game. I thought he ran the game in the first half, and then I think he was actually the big difference. We didn't really get near him. We didn't impose their game on Palace, and they completely done that to us. And don't get me, they're a good side, and that's what a good side will do. And I'd say when they went in at 1-0 at half time, they were like thinking, bollocks, we probably should have put these to the sword there. And they didn't. And again, I'm with you on the whole Wirtz thing out left. I think it was probably trying to shoehorn him into the team. I don't know whether he was resting Gakpo. It's hard to kind of know, because we're in this stage now, and I think we're seeing a different side to Slot, because last year he just would have went with the same 11. Like, how many games last year were we waiting for the lineups to come out and go, fucking hell, he hasn't made a change here. Played 3 games away and he hasn't made a change. Like, you know what I mean? He was happy to just go with the same 11 until he broke down. And we kind of had conversations on the podcast saying, like, is this fella just going to play the same 11 until he break down, and then he'll fix the situation? And I think that's kind of what killed us at the back end of last year, and I think he's probably trying to learn from that now. But I think it was the first mistake he's probably made. And look, come here, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to make mistakes as a manager, and that's fine. But you could see by the first change he makes, he gets Gakpo on. He takes Bradley off, and he moves Szoboszlai more back to that position where I think he's actually being his best, and that's probably where I'd be playing Szoboszlai now until it stops working, because I think he's actually operated very well in that right back position for us. I think he gives us a bit more physicality that we don't really have under Bradley and Frimpong. Again, he's kind of using Frimpong sparingly in games. He didn't cover himself in glory, I don't think, during the week, and I don't think he was actually great when he come on yesterday, to be honest with you. Without being overly critical. It just didn't really happen for us. And again, I think when he's been dependent on the bench changing a lot of games this year, and it's worked for us. Look at the amount of games we've won late on, or times we've changed in the second half. And I checked my phone yesterday and I seen me at 1-0 down, and I said to myself, Slot will sort that at half time and we'll come out and we'll have a go. And obviously, we get the late equaliser, and then it's fucking kind of Keystone Cops for their late winner. But I think, looking back at it there this morning, I think on the balance of play, it's totally deserved. And to be honest with you, not that we've been getting away with it, because I although we've 15 out of 18 points, we've progressed in the Carabao and we've won the first Champions League game. We haven't had a good 90 minutes of football. Suffice to say, I think we're coming into October. Am I worried about that? No, not really, because I think when you kind of look at the business we done on the summer and the radical amount of change and stuff that happened off the pitch, and people might say I'm making excuses, but I think it's completely normal, because I think I wasn't expecting to see this Liverpool fully firing until maybe after the next
Yeah, we
international
kind
break.
of said November,
And
and at the
yeah,
start of
and
the
I
season
think
we did say that. Yeah,
Slot kind of, I even think Slot kind of hinted at that last week after the Everton game, when he said, like, yeah, we've won 5 out of 5, and to be honest with you, considering the change you made at the summer, I didn't think a start of the season would probably merit having 15 out of 15 points at this stage. So he says, and that's a welcome surprise. So the thing for me is the improvement that we can make is clear and obvious there for us all to see. Will we make it? I feel like we will. I think there's just too many good players in the team who have to come around. I'm not worried about Wirtz. I've seen some of the stuff. I'm not, because I actually thought Wirtz was good in the second half.
yeah.
I thought he was better in the second half, and he was more in his natural position. He should score that one.
Mm.
He should score that one that comes into the box. So I'm not really worried. Like, I'd be more like, my biggest worry now, I tell you, as a Liverpool fan, is Kanate's form, which I'd consider Kanate a streaky player. I think up until Christmas last year, he's probably our best player outside of Mo Salah. I thought he was fucking immense at the start of last season. I think he carried the defence, and then Virgil kind of took over the stride after he got that knock against Real Madrid. And the thing I kind of associate with Kanate is that he plays himself out of bad form, and then he normally gets back to himself. But yesterday, he was shy, just to put it bluntly. He was shy, and I'd be worried now if that's because we're over reliant on him now because of the situation at centre back. And Gomez, I don't think Gomez is up to it, to be honest with you. I'm ready to be.
Gomez just, to me, look, just on Gomez, he plays during the week, and
He was shocking. He was terrible.
He was terrible, and
Yeah.
but most of for me was the passing. It was so fucking lethargic. Shane Lowry's just made a putt to retain the Ryder Cup for Europe, so I'm sure he's digging the face off about 14 fellas off the back of 18.
I'm actually watching him here. He's running amok.
Is he? Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah,
I'd say, has he got his flute out?
He has my flute out. That's how ecstatic he is.
He can take mine out if he wants. I was going to say helicopter, but I wouldn't go that far. But come here.
Get the Algarve, the chopper out. He is in the middle of New York.
It would have been the biggest bottle job of all time if they'd have lost that Ryder Cup, by the way. But look, just on the centre half stuff, because I want to talk about Mo Salah in a bit, and I want to talk about a couple of, and this isn't a witch hunt before anyone starts. It's a discussion around players, and it's all right to have them. My thing about Joe Gomez the other night was, defending wise, I don't think he was too bad. I thought the whole passing was just like, where are you passing that to? And it was like under hitting stuff, over hitting stuff, wrong direction. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Now, I will give him, I'm not saying, listen, before anyone fucking shoots the messenger here, I'm not going to say to him, he's going to be amazing, Joe Gomez, for you. I will give him a bit of a benefit of the doubt because he's had fuck all football. He comes in and plays a couple of minutes against Bournemouth, and he plays there against.
He comes on and does all right.
He comes on against Arsenal as well, doesn't he? Was it Arsenal?
Right back, and he does well. Yeah, he comes on.
Yeah,
and he does well. And again, Joe Gomez thinks to me as a fella who just needs a move. His availability is the best ability and all, but you're seeing him doing the same things now, and obviously Leone going down is horrible, and we kind of felt like we were short one out of centre half, and the fact that they tried to do away would suggest they felt the same way. But on top of that, Gav, as well, my two worries are that I don't think it's pointed out. I know he's signed words, but I think we're desperately short in deep at midfield. I think the reliance on Gravenberch is too much. I think considering how important he is to the player now, how easy is it to get a lad to come in as good as Gravenberch to sit on the bench and be happy to take microwave minutes? I get that, but you need to have some sort of natural successor. Now, look, it might be Leone and he's still very young, but I just wish we had a little bit more adequate cover there. Now, that hasn't bitten us yet, and hopefully, touch wood, it doesn't come back to bite us. But they're my two major concerns. I've no real lasting concern about Mo or Vert or what we're going to do with the two fellas up top. I think goal scoring wise we're going to be all right. I just think we need to just tighten up at the back. We need to tighten up at the back. We've seen that there yesterday. Just skill boy shite leads to their second that, and we fucking apt opportunity to clear the ball 2 or 3 times, and they just don't do the basic thing. So, yeah, again, I'm not like fucking. I'm not gonna overrate the pudding. I know we're gonna get on to Mo. Mo's form is a worry, but
I think there's a knock. I think there's a knock-on effect here, right? And I'll preface all this with we're 6 games into a league season. We've won 5. We've lost 1. Right? We sit top of the table, and you can go on about other teams and whatever. And are they playing better than us? Possibly. Are they getting better results than us? No. And Liverpool, to me, like we said from the very outset, this Liverpool side to me won't look the way. I don't think it'll look the way even Slot wants it to look until I would say early mid-November, right? But then for me, you have to start putting the boot down. You have to put the pedal down. You have to go, right? And you give that bit of grace. But I think there's a knock-on effect in a couple of things here, right? The way Trent played last year at right back, right? Even when Bradley came in, Bradley tried to do the invert thing, and Bradley tried to be a little bit different. He ran inside a bit more, and he made these inside runs. And Bradley, again, a little bit hit by injury. But look, he's a really good right back. People rate him, some people don't. It's a big change. It's a big change at right back. Frimpong's come in. He's unfortunate. I think he's really good against Bournemouth. He gets that injury. He's out for a couple of weeks. Okay, he gets the penalty against Burnley. He's not great in the League Cup, but listen, these things happen. He comes on. I thought he was bright enough yesterday when he came on, right? Especially when we were on top. So there's that. The big thing at the back for me is Konate. Konate, to me, looks like he's being programmed to be give it to the right back and cover the right back at all fucking costs. And now it's like I'm doing something completely different. But he looks a bit unsure on what he's doing. And I think that might be the makeup of midfield. I agree with you on the Gravenberch thing. You know, the depth that needs to be there from. But we're nearly given the depth there, Shawnee, but we're dropping McAllister, we're dropping Szoboszlai in beside him, right? So, and I think McAllister needs to be better. When you go through it, I think you're looking at Kerkez is new, Frimpong is new, Bradley in and out through injury. You have Konate, who to me is not on form. Pin that to the wall. But then you look at McAllister. McAllister to me doesn't look fit. You know, Szoboszlai trying to do too many jobs for me. And Verts, you have to be a brave football team. You have to be brave, and everything kind of has to work to get that bravery into playing Verts in. And then the knock on is Salah, because I think we end up becoming very blunt, and then we don't even look to him because we're trying to play a slightly different way. There's a lot of things there. It feels to me, Sean, like if you throw a bit of grease on the wheels here over the next couple of weeks, you go, do you know what? That's starting to work. You know, Isak isn't fully fit. Nowhere fucking close to fully fit. You know, Ekitike fucking needs during the week. He'll be back now for Galatasaray. He'll be back for Chelsea. I think we're probably concentrating a bit too much on what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve, and we're taking our eye off the ball a little bit when it comes to the opposition. And that, to me, is what's led to the likes of, well, Bournemouth was stupid mistakes, but that one there yesterday, we should have known what Palace were going to do, Shawnee. We knew what Palace were going to do. We knew what they were going to try to do, and we let them do it, Shawnee. That's exactly what we did yesterday.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think, again, like winning hours or nothing, like no matter what level of football you play at, you have to earn your right to play ball. And when you give away a goal early in the game, fucking 9 times out of 10, it's playing out the window. And we've been good at getting back into games. Look,
Shawnee, have you contracted COVID in the last 22 minutes?
No,
you come on here not a bother on you, and now you're dying.
My sinus is acting up. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think they're getting a bit emotional after the Ryder Cup thing. I didn't care about it.
And you didn't give a bollocks about it at 9 o'clock.
No.
Shawnee hasn't mentioned the Ryder Cup once in the last 3 days. Now, at 9:30 he went, Jesus, I didn't give a bollocks about this an hour ago.
Someone putting juju on me here is. I completely had to take me out my train of thought there. No, look, I think we get back into the game and then we give it up again, and that would have been a great point yesterday. But maybe it's the bloody nose we need, Gav. I think it's probably the.
Is it a Nottingham Forest moment?
Yeah, possibly. Possibly, yeah.
I think there was a naivety to that Forest thing last year, and I think Slot still hates them. And I think we might have been a bit naive there yesterday as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think. Look, the first thing you do is you go back to base. You look at Verts on the left. No matter what anyone tries to tell you online, I don't think he's a left winger. And I'm with you, Gav. If you're gonna play 100 odd million for these fellas, you have to trust them, play them in that position, and then let them play. Because I outside of online and the shite you see in the blade red top, I don't actually think Verts has been that bad at all.
No,
to be honest with you, I don't think his look. He's not getting goals and assists, but I don't think his performances are meriting this sort of fucking level of inquest. I think it's over the top. And I come here, I think that's part and parcel when you sign a lad for that type of money. You know what I mean? And that's fair enough. But I'm not really worried about it. I just two tough games now we have coming up, like, and they're difficult enough games to kind of say, all right, we're gonna fucking turn it around here now. But look, I trust the gaffer. You see, and what I loved about it yesterday was after listening to him, like, he's so fucking refreshing to listen to because there's no bollocks with him, like, you know what I mean? It's just straight down the line. You didn't hear anyone giving out about the fact that it shouldn't have been a corner for the first goal. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't hear anyone giving out about all the other shit. You didn't. The fact that Frimpong probably could have had a penalty in the second half. You didn't hear any of them excuses because the coach doesn't emanate those things. He didn't come out after the game and go on about these decisions about how they didn't go away. Like, he came out and said we should have been 3 or 4 down after the first half. We get ourselves back into the game. We play a little bit better, and then he said, I don't know who he was talking about, but I think it might be Gakpo, but you didn't name him. He says
I think he's a bit harsh. I think he's a bit harsh on Gakpo there because he says,
yeah. Well, look, if I'm watching that blind, I'd say it's Kirkes' fault for not just putting the ball down the other end of the pitch.
Yeah, he turns and tries to swivel it out, I suppose. He turns and tries to play it out to the wing, and I don't know whether he's having a go at Gakpo, saying he should have been back there to collect that ball, or the series he says it in, it's like Virgil kicks the ball out, he thinks it's going to be played, it goes down, it drops in the box, and the player is waiting on a counter, and it was a bit stupid. But like, I was like, where do you want Gakpo to be? Now, I'm probably reading it completely wrong, but I was like, you want Gakpo to be standing 10 yards ahead of Kirkes, standing on the sideline, because that's where Kirkes kicked it to. Kirkes should have put away his right foot and put it up the pitch.
Yeah, but I think what he means by that is, I think they were probably, and he said it himself, like, he said, I probably set up too offensive. And he said it. He said it himself. I probably set up too offensive. And going, but that's what they do, Gav, and that's why we didn't draw loads of games last year. You know, it's why we nick loads of games, because we go for it late, and probably a bit naive yesterday. I think we probably should have taken that, and obviously you fucking concede.
Sorry. So a couple of lads there are saying he was actually talking about Frimpong. So at the back post, he thought Frimpong was out of position, looking for him. Right, maybe that makes more sense. It was just the order he said it in. It was like, is he talking about Kirkes inside?
Because he didn't name the player, so I didn't know exactly who he was talking about.
Yeah.
But
sorry, can I ask you a quick one? I've seen a few people as well now online, admittedly, but people are saying, Slot seems to be coming out and he seems to be throwing a bit of shade at this player or that player, and is that, is he being a bit fucking?
He's always done that.
But he has always done that. If someone does something wrong, he'll tell you.
Well, he's done it at the Kwanzaa. It's his fourth league game he done it.
Yeah, and it's the same way he goes into Sky and he stands at the podium with all the lads and he tells you everything about the game. He's very open in that. It's
like when he told everyone how shite United were in 90 seconds last year after the game at Old Trafford. That's just the other side of the coin, like, you know what I mean? That's what you're gonna get with Slot.
Yeah.
And you can't have your cake and eat. You either like that or you don't. You either like that approach or you don't. You love that approach when you're winning and all, but you can't turn around and say, oh, well, you can't be doing that. That's the way he is. And whoever was responsible for that, I'm sure he let them know. Like, you seen the shite during the week, we're finding fucking Ekatike every penny he's ever made playing for Liverpool because of what he done, and it just came out, it was like, simply wasn't true, like, you know what I mean? Just simply wasn't true. So you get that, like, you get all of that and that just comes with the territory. But look, I just sometimes just have to take your medicine. We're not fucking, you don't have any right to win every game. Well, I was surprised. I looked at the table and they're second. Well, they weren't until Arsenal got the win today, but they've been right up there. They've been doing their job. They've been good. They've been solid. They've been resolute. And look, I think Glasner is a fucking top operator. I hope he doesn't end up at United, because I think he actually could be a remedy to a lot of their problems. I think he's a serious coach, and I'll say it again. I think he actually might have Slot's number, especially in these one-on-one games. He seems to be able to. He seems to have cracked the code. We find it very, very difficult to play against
You
Palace.
see,
We always seem to struggle, because I think
but this is
with
why
the two up top,
this is why I was it was a bit weird for me with Verts, because in that game against three at the back, that's where I expect my attacker to play, me striker to play, and my number 10, i.e. Verts, to be right up beside him. And be basically saying, listen, we're not having this 3 men at the back fucking, doing what you like. We're just not.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have him right up against them, and I'm going to make 2 of their centre halves worry, at least worry, and the other third one doesn't have a freedom there. And then we can look to get your Salah and your Gakpo or whoever at your wing backs, because they're only playing 2 in midfield. They're only playing 2 in midfield. So you can go in there with your 2 in midfield and match them up. You know what I mean? And if Verts has to drop back a little bit, fine. But that's why when it comes to the 3 at the back system, I'm a big fan of, right, you can play 2 up front, but nobody does. But I'm a big fan of going to Verts. You make sure you go up and press up against Isak. Let Isak pick a centre back, and you go and you basically what you want to do is you want to take that right or left centre back, well, left one probably, and say you and Gakpo have to get at him and the wing back. That's what you want. And that's where I think he's saying he's set up a bit too attacking. I would have set up. I would have went Verts down the middle, and I don't think it would have been too attacking. I think it would have just countered. I think it would have been better defensively by countering them in that way. That's where I think it would have been.
No, I totally agree with you. And I'm like, obviously, we don't really see the way the teams are made out now with the way we get the graphics. It's hard to kind of tell what way they're going to set up. And when I seen I was being deployed from the left, I was kind of like, I don't know about that. I feel like you're shoehorning him in. Or I play him in the 10, I don't play him. Like, you know what I mean? He didn't play. He didn't play during the week. He wasn't even on the bench. So I was kind of going like, play him in his position, or don't play him, because I just think you're doing the player a disservice there. And that's not to say he can't play there, but I don't think he's as effective there. And like you said, I think like the big factor of Palace's play is that wing backs. And like, not that he's not a lazy player. He's covered a lot of ground, but it's a big task physically for him in the league against who's probably one of the more physical right backs in the league, Munoz. He's very aggressive, very attacking, and I think the height of our fullbacks is probably a bit of a problem now. We seen it in the goals yesterday. The second one, just losing headers or not getting up, not having not having the dominance we usually have. I was surprised slapping out, and again, I'm not that I'm at pains to say it, but I think he got it wrong, didn't he? Like, let's be honest, the first half approach was wrong. It was simple as that, and that didn't cost us the points in the end, because they were well worth it. But he did. He got it wrong, and hopefully learns, because I don't think you'll see him employing him there anytime soon. Not unless there's fucking injuries or something that come along. So touch wood again on that. But yeah, look, I don't want to overdo. We were well beaten yesterday. Put it that, even though it was a 97th minute winner, we were well beaten. I don't think a draw would have been definitely an unfair result in terms of Palace. And I still think, like, if you look at it holistically, 15 from 18 points, you're still top. You're yet to get going, really. We've played some really tough games. Look, it's not like we've played fucking run-of-the-mill teams at the bottom. We've played Bournemouth, who've been decent. We've played Newcastle, who've probably been decent, don't have anywhere near as many points as they should have on the board. Newcastle away is always a tough game. Arsenal at home, who are obviously the ones that are probably going to run us the closest. We played a derby, which again, up in the air, and you go to Palace away, which is, look, listen, I think when you're looking at the calendar, I know it's one of it is a happy hunting ground for us. I think the juju around Selhurst, I think, is probably overplayed a bit because of what happened in 13-14. The fucking the ghost of bleeding Dwight Gale hasn't haunted us as much maybe as it should have. But it's still a tough place to go. Like, whenever I know we won there in the COVID about 9-0 because there was no fans there. But whenever we've gone there with fans in the ground, it's never not been a tough game for as long as I can remember. It's always been neaty and bitty, and normally you play till the end. Like we got a 1-0 and got out there last year, so it's it's one of them ones. Like I'm not panicking, and I'm not doing the surgical fucking introspective look into what's going on and are our problems terminal. I don't think they are. I think what's happening is you're seeing 6 or 7 new lads coming in, and a lot of them playing in the team at the same time, and they're still kind of getting used to how each other play and how each other move. And it didn't help Ekatike was out, to be honest with you, because I think he's forming relationships a little bit with players that what we've seen through Beer already, and we missed him yesterday. I think in the second half, not coming on again, not making excuses. 11-11, we turned up and we got beaten yesterday by the better side on the day, and that just happens in football sometimes, and it's gonna happen again this season. There's no doubt about it. And you just have to go on and move. But am I overly worried about the makeup of the Liverpool squad at the moment? Not really, but like I said, just with centre back and centre mids, I do have some concerns that hopefully we can alleviate in January. Maybe not in the midfield sense, because I think they know the one they want. I think the one they want is the lad who fucking ran the game against us yesterday.
Yeah, excellent again.
Yeah, excellent. I think the hat will definitely be in the ring for him, and obviously Guehi, we wanted him. Whether we go back in January, we'll have to see. But Paul Joyce said we weren't, but Paul Joyce never told a lie in his life, according to people. So
I think
we'll just have to see. I think.
I think the Paul Joyce stuff was said before the Leone injury as well, though. He was kind of pointing at that. I think that might change in considering the guy's out for a year. It's not like he's out for 6 weeks. Or he would be like, we'll be back in January. It's not the case.
No.
You won't see him again this season, but it looks like. Just like we said, there's loads of things to work on. One of my things as well is when we look at the back and we look at midfield, I think up front, for me, I have to give massive credit to Chiesa. I thought he was brilliant during the week, and I thought he'd come on, and he's a real bright spark. He just he's in and around the place.
He looks fit, Gav.
He does. He looks really fit, and he looks like he looks like a guy that's watching the game from the bench going, when I get in there, this is what I'm going to do, because he's popping up in
And again, going back to the slot thing, like I think he could have been brave and given him a start yesterday.
There's an argument he could have put him on the left.
And he could and that's what I'm saying. Like,
there's an argument he could have played him up front and given Isak 35 at the end. Took him off on 50.
Yeah, well, 60. Like I think it'll stand to Isak playing the minutes he played yesterday. He seems to be a bit more like I thought. He had a few moments yesterday, Isak, where you're thinking, Jesus Christ, this fella gets going, he's going to bang. He nearly pulls a worldie out of the bag, and he probably could get a fucking. Was it a pen or was it not? No, I don't think it was, but he nearly makes stuff happen. Like, and again, like, and it's why I'm not worried. Like,
you see,
it's not. I know why you're
not worried, because I'll tell you why.
We've loads of good footballers. We've loads of good footballers.
When I look at the front line, Salah's a constant. Ekatike, Isak. You've had Gakpo there. You've Chiesa coming in around the place. You've Verts, he putting them in there. For me, over the next 6 weeks, I'd like to see some semblance of a settled 3/4 with Verts included there on a constant. So what I mean by that is, if you're going to start Isak, start him and play Verts behind him and play Gakpo or Ekatike, or pick whoever you like. But I think when that unit of four start to understand each other, not only in a going forward sense, but positionally when we don't have the ball. Positionally when we don't have the ball and the players facing us. And positionally when we don't have the ball and it's in our half, where do we have to be? Where do we want to link up? That understanding has to come in the sense of teams can't play out from the back against us because the triggers are all there for press, and against that, when we're on the break or when we're in complete possession, where the player's going to go. That's what I'd like to see probably the most over the next 6 weeks, to be fair.
Yeah, and I think that's what you will see. You're going to start seeing what he considers his main team. I think there's a lot of games coming up where, like, again, we might not see it this week because there's Galatasaray away and Chelsea away, and I still think he's going to be trying to get lads minutes. I don't think McAllister can continue on as well the way he is. He's been poor, but I know it's
You
probably
don't
down
know
to
what to do
fitness.
with him. Do you keep playing him to get him fit, or do you?
Yeah, but
I don't know
I
what to
see
do there.
McAllister's a weird one because the situation with him is that he was left out of the team last year at the back end of the season because he had an issue. He was just basically they were saying, oh, it's because he's played a lot of international football and stuff like that. But he was like, I think that after you don't see him after the Spurs game, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Don't think you see him again. I don't think you see. We
No,
didn't see.
he gets an extended time off, and then he's off over the summer, and then you don't see much of him in the pre-season. Maybe
Pre-season
towards the
now.
end of it, and then he starts against Bournemouth, and you could see it after 60. He's fucked.
So it's hard to know. It's hard to know.
He feels to me like he's still in a bit of pre-season, to be fair.
Yeah, and again, like, and we probably don't see that because he wasn't it. Like, why is he still in pre-season? Well, the reason he's still in pre-season is because he didn't get one really, and he had to finish up. He had a problem last year. Like, I'd love to know what it was. I don't know. I don't think it's been documented, but
Chris Brack says the rumour was McAllister had a hernia up in the summer.
Well, there you go.
That's the
he definitely had a hair transplant anyway.
Yeah, he looks fantastic.
You know, I think he got a hair transplant. To be honest,
he's all over the place. Doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, and his missus had a baby as well. Look, there's loads, and then probably if there's probably loads of cynics out here on there who I see moaning all the time on fucking on the Hellscape app, probably going, "Oh, you're making every excuse under the sun." I'm not. It's just there's excuses and there's reasons, and if you can't see the reason why this Liverpool team is not firing at 100%.
We were both saying that we were poor yesterday. We didn't deserve to win the game yesterday. But can we look at this, and this? It's not like Liverpool are on a massive downward spiral here, and this is it. I think Liverpool are taking time to get going here, and they've covered themselves with some wins. You know, but
exactly.
That's fair enough. I think that's
that
assessment, no?
100%. I think you can't argue with that, and they're doing what good teams do. And it's like if you're not playing well, and when you're not playing well, is that can you pick up results? And we have, like, you know what I mean? I think City will improve, and I think we'll improve. And looking at Arsenal, like I think Arsenal are in that. I think they're already in sixth grade. I think they're playing about as well as they can. I think today is a big result for them. Now, make no bounds about it. But I think Arsenal are playing as well as they can. That's the truth. I don't see like, oh, they're massively going to improve. I expect Isak to start back, and I expect Ekitike to become even better than he has. I expect if Mo even improves 10-15%, we're going to be fine. And I expect Kirkes to improve. Yeah, he was another one who's come in and getting a bit of flack, but he's just not Robertson. I think we need to get used to that idea that he's not Robertson. And I expect Fritz to get going as well. So maybe I'm heading the clouds or heading the sand. I don't think I'm being a bit yo, but I'm not. I'm not panicking yet.
Yeah.
Put it that way. I think there's two tough games. I think you'll see a response during the week and next weekend. And Chelsea are fucking decimated with injuries, so it's probably not the worst one
available at the weekend.
Yeah.
So just listen, we're not going to drag this out for too much longer. But just Galatasaray away during the week, Chelsea away at the weekend. Do you think he looks to get lads minutes against Galatasaray and go down that route, or do you think he uses it as a template to watch Chelsea the weekend? Because it's not the shortest trip in the world, like, you know.
Again, it's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to see Gakpo start, and you'll see Ekitike start because he didn't feature on the weekend.
Yeah.
And what he does with the midfield, I'll be interested to see. He might give McAllister or Curtis Jones a start, probably.
See, I think he plays Ekitike. I think he plays Gakpo. I think he plays Salah. And I 100% think he plays Szoboszlai and Gravenberch with Wirtz in front. I 100% see it. And then you pick your back four. It'll be Kanate, it'll be Van Dijk. And then I think you'll probably see... I think it might be Frimpong Robertson, to be fair. You know, it
wouldn't be mad. Look, listen, again,
I think that gives you scope then for the weekend if you want to change it a little bit. But
yeah,
just that's probably where he ends up.
What I will say is just play players in their positions. Unless it's Dominic Szoboszlai, you can play him anyway. That's the way I'd say it. Like, don't fucking... I think he's probably learned from the Wirtz left wing thing. Now, he might play left wing and play better than he did in the weekend, but Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Galatasaray are like. I know they've spent loads of money. They've loads of lads who used to be good, and they've Osherman who is fucking. I think he's getting paid and bleeding. I don't know what they're paying him, but fucking
Gold bullion.
yeah, yeah. That's what that. But they've a few decent players, and it's famously not a nice place to go. And I'm reading online the terms that the fans are travelling there in, and you know what? I don't envy them at all, to be honest with you.
No, either do I.
So yeah, look, look, I don't think we're under massive pressure to win midweek, because I think getting the leg up, win your home games, and we don't really know we don't know what finishing fourth or eighth in this Champions League is going to look like again this year. I don't know whether they've tweaked it as opposed to last year, but I'm not really worried about us progressing. I'd just like to get over there, get some sort of result, and get back with a clean bill of health. And however he manages that, like, I'm fine. But so obviously, I'd be prioritising Stamford Bridge. If I'm being honest with you, that would be my outlook.
100%. I think I know what you're saying about not needing to win, and you don't know where you're going to end, and I completely get that. And there's an argument there. Look, you're going away to Istanbul in midweek, and then you're playing Chelsea the weekend, and the turnaround. But I'm wondering, will you think there's enough time there to basically go, right, this is my template for Chelsea?
It's Tuesday, Saturday, is it? It's Tuesday, Saturday.
Tuesday, Saturday, yeah. So it's, to me, does he use it as a template for the first hour and then make the changes and give break and then go back in with much the same team at the weekend? Because this team needs rhythm. It needs rhythm. It needs to be on the pitch together in a settled way for a couple of games where you go, right, that's where our triggers are. That's where we go. That's where we stay. That's where we need to cover. And it just looks a bit disjointed at times. And, there's people in the chat there saying, it's not panicking, lads. We haven't played well in a while. Yeah, but we haven't, like, when you break it down, right, we haven't played well in a while. We make 2 mistakes against Bournemouth, stupid mistakes, in a nothing game. Do you know the sort of way? We beat Arsenal in a game that's the 2 top teams in the country at the moment, and we beat them, right? And there was nothing in the game. To me, that's playing well. You know what I mean? Like, if you go, Arsenal are a good side. Arsenal are looking to win this league. Whether you like them or you don't think they can, or you think they can, or you don't think they can. They're looking to win a league title. So, you go in there and you go up against them, right?
Put it this way: people are saying you're not panicking, you're worried, we're not playing well.
Ado says here, Gavin, come on, we've been muck all season. But, okay, we've been muck all season, right?
We haven't, though.
So I don't think we have. I don't think we've been anywhere near our heights. Nowhere close.
We've been muck all season, but I wouldn't swap our position for the other 19 teams that are in the league.
No.
So what does that tell you?
Either would I. And the way I look at it is, I look at teams around us and I go, yeah, can they improve? Possibly, yeah. Everyone can improve. But I think the biggest ceiling for anyone in this league at the moment is Liverpool. And they're top of the division. And, you can... you play poorly and you win, that's the sign of champions and all that. That's probably more towards the back end of the season. But Ado, my whole point on this is that we're talking about, in one breath we'd be saying, we've made too many changes. But all these changes still have us where we are. You have to give it time. Like, I'm not happy about the result yesterday. I'm not happy about the performance. But I'm able to stand away and go, yeah, wasn't good enough. The captain's saying it wasn't good enough. The manager's saying it's good enough. I'm sure all the players internally are saying it wasn't good enough. But at the same time, I look at the second half and I go, we fucking battered them second half. We battered them, right?
We did.
And you could say, well, on the basis of, if we'd got a draw or even won it, could you make an argument that we probably deserved it? No, because to be fair, if it went the way it should have went in the first half, we'd have been 3-0 down and battered them in the second half, not one. And that's where it is.
And if we'd seen loads of halves so far, like that first one yesterday, I'd be probably worried.
Yeah,
then I'd be going, okay, right, there's a bit of a pattern there. But I think yesterday we just weren't good in the first half. We weren't. And there's games where we kind of cruised and went 2-0 up. And I think we haven't managed games as well as we have. To say we've been muck all season is, I won't call it stupid because it's someone else's opinion, but all I can say is I don't agree with it and I don't see it myself. I don't think we've had a consistent a good 90 for the season. I think the first half an hour against Atletico were electric. We're managing the game against Newcastle. We got 1-0 up. The fucking madness ensues. The Newcastle game had fucking more tangents than a fucking Stephen King novel, for fuck's sake, by the time we got to play the thing. Who else was it? Burnley, we fucking battered them. They've 11 men behind the ball for 90 minutes. We battered them. Um, they eventually break in the end. Like, to say we've been muckers, I think it's disingenuous, to be honest with you. I think it's probably a bit knee jerk. We haven't been. If we've been muck all season, we would have lost way more than one game. That's my opinion.
I think
and I'll tell you one
think
thing.
you
I
have to be
thought we were
consistent.
shite mid. I thought we were crap midweek. And
Brutal.
another thing,
Brutal.
and I'll point out one thing that really fucking annoyed me midweek. And I'm not gonna name players, but it was in the back end of Slot's tenure and last year in cup games. There was a few performances from players where I felt like the games they were playing were probably a little bit beneath them, and they weren't 100% switched on, and that pisses me off, because I think every time you pull on the Liverpool jersey, you should be fucking all in. Like, you know what I mean? That's just my outlook. That annoyed me midweek. I can't lie about that. But come on, ask yourself, like, do you really think we've been muck all season? Because I don't. I genuinely don't. That's just the truth.
Yeah, I think my outlook on it will be is to be consistent in what your view will be from the start of the season, and we're still very early in the season. And my view at the start of the season was, like, don't get me wrong, I want to win the league. I think we can win the league, etc., etc. Right? Liverpool are champions. We want to go and win it again, right? But at the start of the season, when you look and you say to yourself, there's a new right back plus a young right back. You've got a new left back. You've got a new centre half that's come in. Okay, albeit a squad one, right? You would call him a squad one. You've this new guy in number 10. You've got two new strikers. You've got the loss of Diogo Jota. Forget any transfers. You've got the loss of Diogo Jota, and there's not enough made of this. There's genuine, and I'll say it when we win games, and I'll say it when we lose games. You can see when we're winning games how emotional players are. When we score goals, how emotional players are, right? But even aside from that, even push to the side for a minute, right? There's so many changes in that team. And listen, people can argue, did it need it? Did it not? Right? That's not our decision to make. It's Slot's decision to make. But the simplest way to look at this is, if you have something and you make 50% of change, which is a possibility in this team, it's a 50% personnel change. If you for a certain starting 11, you have to expect a period of time where these learn to work with each other and learn to understand who it's like any workplace. If you work in a printing shop and there's 10 lads there, and then you come in tomorrow and 5 of the lads are gone, there's 5 new lads in, you walk around with the 5 lads going, this is what we do here, and this is what we do here, and this is what we do here, and the shop is down the road, and Mick goes for the fucking rolls at 11:30, and you know what I mean? And you have to allow that period of time. We're still in that period of time. But I will say, when we get to mid-November, if I'm still sitting here having this conversation with you, I go, now it's a worry, because we've had enough time, we've had ample time. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like Graham Doyle is saying excuses. It's not excuses. I don't need to make excuses. Why would I need to make excuses? Liverpool are sitting top of the division. I don't need to make excuses. If you think I'm making excuses, I would have come on here at 10 o'clock and went, but weren't we great though? Weren't we very good the second half? I didn't.
Should have never been a corner for the first goal.
I can make all the excuses you want in the world, but it's not. We weren't good enough yesterday, right? Why weren't we good enough? Well, we didn't apply ourselves, one. But part of it is the elements that are there and working together. It's just part and parcel of new people in that realm of that football team. It just is. And I don't know what more to say. It just simply is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you do anything in life and 50% of the people change in that team, of course it's gone. It's like when you're playing a League Cup and you go, we've brought 5 young fellas in to play with 5 first teamers outfield, and they don't look the same, do they? Well, no. Of course they don't look the fucking same.
They're not the same.
Because they're not the same. Do you know what I mean? And like, Graham, you're saying excuses to me. I've just said to you, if we get to the middle of November and this is continuing the way it is at the moment, yes, you would absolutely have a worry. You'd absolutely have a worry. And, you know, people are mentioning there about set piece goals, long throws, this and that. Absolutely. It's a worry, right? but it's something that can be improved on, and you would hope that in the next 6 games, and you're 10, 12 games into the season, that you're still sitting top of the division. And you know what? We're not conceding from set pieces. And Vert is scoring, and lads are interacting, and there's assists from him to him. You know, there's loads to go with this team, absolutely loads of it. But if you think that's excuses, well, I don't know. That's your opinion. We'll probably leave it there. Europe won the Ryder Cup. They won it.
Which is great.
David T says, swap places with you. Yeah, you would, David. Yeah, you would. Madge says legitimate reasons are not excuses. I think the reasons are quite legitimate, but I think the legitimacy in them starts to wane over time. And I don't think we're out of that time zone yet. You know, that sort of thing. But
I just think cool heads prevail. We'd be grand in the long run. And if you don't, just watch something else then. There's loads of stuff to do now. Like, there's loads of different stuff you can do. If you're not enjoying the football, that's grand. Like, don't be worrying about it. It's going to be grand.
The Giants won today. The Giants won today, Shawnee.
Yeah.
It might be bigger than the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. Fucking flying. There you go. Look, it's great. The best thing about it is there's another game on Tuesday and we're playing loads of football. Yeah. And that's it. You'd be crying now for us to be back, considering we've been muck all season so far when the international break comes around. I think that's bad. Like, fucking, we have to go then, hope Ireland get a win then. Will you bleeding stop? So don't be worrying about all is not lost. It'd be grand. No need to don't shit your briefs yet. Just put it that way. Don't fill the togs just yet.
No, Thor says Gav, Champions League preview tomorrow. Yeah, to be honest with you. Again, we've loads, like, just I'm being a bit ignorant here. I'm looking at my phone because I usually have notes of what we're doing. I'm trying to see if I saved them notes. So yeah, look, today's Sunday, isn't it? Yeah. So tomorrow we are going to more than likely put in a preview for Galatasaray. We're definitely going to do a reaction extra to Liverpool and Palace, where we do it on Patreon and we look at the highlights of the games. We will have a good process referee show coming up. We might have to squeeze that in Wednesday night. We're trying to squeeze it all in around game previews, game reactions. There's just so much going on. But if you're subscribed here, you will see some of it. If the link is in the description for Patreon, if you want to join there, and there's loads of stuff goes on there during the week as well. And there's so many games coming so fast that we're literally doing previews and reactions constantly. So we're trying to fit other stuff in, but the link is in the description if you want to do Patreon. And if you want to support us with NordVPN, the link is in the description there as well. You know how NordVPN works by now. Matt is in China and he's using NordVPN, and he said, Jesus, I might have to do positive reads for NordVPN when I come back, because this stuff is brilliant. Having said that, when he got it all logged in, he fucked off to a restaurant across the road to buy a few cans to watch Liverpool, and ended up having a few beers from one fella from Bangladesh and another fella from Sierra Leone. So he's having a lovely time, by the sounds of it. And he's getting
the international man of mystery.
Yeah, he's like the international milk tray man. So there you go. Kev says NordVPN is the crack. I think Kev used his as well. He was in Spain. I think he's still in Spain, and he was using his as well. So the link for NordVPN is in there as well. Shawnee, anything else before we go?
Yeah, wish the Ayatollah of the parish, Keith Plunkett, a happy birthday.
Yeah.
I'd
say he's
like
4
me,
karaoke tunes in right now.
Yeah, if he's like me, he may or may not watch this back. But yeah, just big happy birthdays in the chat and the comments for Keith, and be nice as well in the comments. Don't be giving. Just don't be a dickhead all your life. But
relax. It's all good. So what we wanted to do is Patreon links, NordVPN links, grand. But what we really wanted to do is, when this is finished, go in there and wish Keith
go on Twitter and give Keith a lot of happy birthday. Send him splats.
Happy birthday.
Send him a random GIF or something. Just confuse him, because he's probably out. He's going to be going, what's going on here?
Do you know what I seen? Do you know what I seen the other day? I seen the Bee Gees, right? On what was that that talk show host, not Des Lynam, no, don't say that. Remember the really tan fella? Des something was his name. He used to do the TV hosting years ago. Someone will tell me. Anyway, the Bee Gees are on the sofa, and they're singing I think it was How Deep Is Your Love, right?
Oh, a cappella.
Yeah. right?
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah,
And you know the fella that sings the main bit, he turns to the side, right? And I tried to take a screenshot of him. I thought I did, and Des O'Connor, that's who it was, right? And Des O'Connor singing along, but I don't know which of the Gibbs brothers it was. It's the fella singing the main bit, right? It wasn't Barry. Barry's the little scrawny fella, isn't it? It's the
yeah.
other fella. I can't remember. But anyway, he turns side profile singing this song, right? And I thought I took a screenshot, but I didn't. And if you take his hair off, he looks the image of Keith Plunkett. Now,
There
is
you
that a
go.
coincidence? Have you ever seen the Bee Gees and Keith Plunkett in the same room at the same time? Because I
There
have.
you go.
And he loves to sing song. Brandon Chase has put his phone number in the comments and we'll all send him a message.
That's a show.
So yeah, if you want to check, if you type in Bee Gees a cappella with Des O'Connor.
What you do is ring the Irish Town House and ask his Keith Plunkett there.
Yeah.
Someone go on Google and ring the Irish Town House and ask his Keith Plunkett there. Tell me you want to wish him a happy birthday.
Ring the Irish Town House and go, listen, you wouldn't get Keith to sing Bohemian Rhapsody, will you, before you go? He loves an old song. What's the end of the night song he likes? He loves Meatloaf. 2 Hour 3 ain't bad. That's one of his go-tos. So anyway, Barry is the main guy. Is that him? Who's the little scrawny fella in the Bee Gees? Little black-headed fella. Robin Gibb.
Robin Gibb.
Yeah, must be him.
They were great, weren't they?
The Bee Gees are lethal. But didn't they make a fortune off songs they wrote for other people? They actually made more money off that than they did. Isn't there a playlist on Spotify, songs written by the Bee Gees that aren't performed by the Bee Gees?
So what's the one? Take That done there, How Deep Is Your Love, didn't they?
Yeah,
Was it Take That done that?
I think they done that, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Fucking great, innit?
Yeah, the Bee Gees. Check them out. Right, we're going to go. Happy birthday to Keith. We will be with you. Plenty of shows on Patreon, plenty of shows on YouTube throughout the week. As many as we possibly can get in, but we're literally doing one every day at this stage. I've been Gav. That's been Seany. That's been the Sunday Night Cop. Up the Reds. Talk to you in a bit. Over now.